The year is 1861. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Brother against brother, father against son, a nation forged in liberty on the verge of collapse. This is the story of the Civil War. But it's not just dates and battles, names and places. It's about the human drama, the intimate stories, the whispers of truth often lost in the echoes of history. What if I told you that everything you think you know about the Civil War is just scratching the surface? What if some of the most powerful and shocking truths have been hidden in plain sight for over a century? What if the heroes and villains of this war weren't who you think they were? Stick with me, because what you're about to hear might just change everything you thought you knew about one of the most pivotal moments in American history. Stay tuned to find out what your history books have never told you. It's easy to romanticize war, the clash of armies, the thunder of cannons, the heroism of soldiers, but what about the silences? The silences in letters home, where fear and doubt wrestled with duty and honor. Imagine a young farmer, barely a man, forced to choose between the Union blue and the Confederate gray, his family's future hanging in the balance. Picture a mother, her heart heavy with dread, reading a letter stained with the tears of a son fighting a war he never wanted. The Civil War wasn't just fought on battlefields, it raged in the hearts of families torn apart by conflicting loyalties, by the agonizing decision of which side to support, or worse, which son to send off to fight. The draft, a necessary evil, tore through communities, leaving behind a trail of resentment and despair. Farmers and shopkeepers, teachers and blacksmiths, all forced to trade their livelihoods for muskets and bayonets. The promise of glory, a distant whisper against the deafening roar of war. And what about the women, left behind to tend the fields, to raise the children, to pray for the safe return of their loved ones? They bore the weight of the home front, their spirits unbroken even as their world crumbled around them. This wasn't just a war about slavery and freedom. It was about the very soul of a nation, about the meaning of liberty, about the enduring power of hope in the face of unimaginable suffering. It's a story that continues to resonate today, a reminder of the fragility of peace and the enduring legacy of our shared past. Abraham Lincoln, a man etched in our national memory as the great emancipator. But did you know that his journey to ending slavery was a complex and evolving one? He wasn't born an abolitionist. He wrestled with the morality of slavery, the political realities of his time, and the deeply held beliefs of a nation on the brink. Imagine Lincoln in the quiet solitude of his office, the weight of the nation heavy on his shoulders. He reads letters from soldiers, their words filled with both patriotism and despair. He sees the casualty lists, the names of young men who will never again see their homes. The Emancipation Proclamation, a document that changed the course of history, wasn't just a stroke of a pen. It was a culmination of Lincoln's own moral evolution, a testament to the power of empathy and the unwavering belief in the equality of all men. But Lincoln wasn't alone. Harriet Tubman, a conductor on the Underground Railroad, risked her life to lead enslaved people to freedom. Frederick Douglass, a former slave turned abolitionist, used his powerful voice to challenge the conscience of a nation. These were the unexpected heroes, the ordinary citizens who rose to extraordinary heights, their courage and conviction shaping the destiny of a nation. They remind us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can triumph, and that even the smallest acts of courage can have a profound impact on the course of history. Chapter 3. The Real Cost of War. The Civil War was a storm of steel and fire, leaving behind unimaginable destruction. The numbers are staggering, almost impossible to comprehend. Over 620,000 soldiers dead, more than all other American wars combined. Each number a life cut short, a family shattered. But the true cost of war cannot be measured in numbers alone. It's the silent screams of soldiers, the empty chairs at dinner tables, the lingering grief. Disease stalked the battlefields, claiming as many lives as bullets and cannon fire. Typhoid, dysentery, pneumonia, invisible enemies that spared no one. Imagine the stench of gangrene, the cries of the wounded echoing through the night. Field hospitals, overwhelmed with casualties, struggled to cope. The emotional toll on families was immeasurable. Wives widowed, children orphaned, parents left to mourn. The war left an of our nation, and redefined what it means to be an American. The legacy of slavery continues to haunt us. The fight for equality, ignited by the Civil War, continues to this day. The war shaped our national identity and influenced American politics. It expanded the definition of citizenship and laid the groundwork for the civil rights movement. The most enduring legacy of the Civil War is the resilience of the American spirit. Despite the horrors, Americans emerged with a renewed sense of purpose. The Civil War reminds us that freedom is a right that must be constantly defended. Unity is the ability to embrace our differences while striving for a common good. As we look back, let us remember the sacrifices made and the enduring legacy of a war that continues to shape us today. The fight continues. We've only just begun to scratch the surface of this complex and multifaceted story. The Civil War, a pivotal moment in American history, continues to shape our present and influence our future. It's a story of tragedy and triumph, of division and unity, of the enduring power of the human spirit. Stick around. The answers might surprise you. And trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. Subscribe now, because the story isn't over. And neither is the fight for what this nation stands for.